We are continuing our tribute to Marty Robbins. Farron, you have a picture there that I think we ought to show. Marty Robbins had a television show back in the late 70s.
You won an award for this show.
I was co-producer of this, called Marty Robbins Spotlight, and this is a still from the picture, and I believe, I think you'll recognize most of the people.
Who's that
there.
little gal on the, what side is
Oh,
he?
he's on the right side as they look at it.
George Jones?
George Jones.
Marty? And who?
And you.
That's the first time, I think, in history they caught George Jones and Farron Young sober at the same time.
You know, I thought when we were doing that show that night, I thought we were making history, having the three of you sing together, but I don't recall what you sang.
We did a medley of things together. I don't recall what it was. You know, I have a lot of people come up and ask me, Rab, you know, about Marty. And the only thing I can say is just, you know, it was just too soon for him to go.
That's right.
And I just want to say one thing, that the Lord took him up there because he needed him to sing, but God bless God because he left us Ronnie here to carry it on. I think that's great.
I can did a good job.
I remember when we made that particular show, I thought we were making history because we were putting together three legends, Farron Young, Marty Robbins, and George Jones, whose records I had played 10 million times. You know, earlier Gene Autry mentioned that he spent a lot of time around Phoenix, and that's how he met a very young Marty Robbins. I assume you were making motion pictures.
No, at first, back in those days, that was 1942, I guess. I was in the Air Force. I was out at Luke Field, and I knew who Marty was around there, but I didn't get to spend very much time with him because I was learning to fly an airplane, so I didn't get to see him very much.
Did you subsequently make motion pictures in Arizona?
Yes, I made a lot of pictures out there. I made some pictures in Sedona, Oak Creek Canyon, made a Southwest Mountie up at Flagstaff, and then I did a Red River Valley in Yuma, and then I did a picture called The Last Roundup in Tucson, used old Tucson for a background.
Gene, I'm kind of curious, how many records have you sold? Do you have any idea?
No.
Just on Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Well,
Reindeer.
I was going to say, Rudolph, you will hear...
Look, I've been trying for 30 years to get another one like that. And I almost didn't make that record. Up till, I don't know what I'll do this year, but we've got 14 million records on it. But
you've sold 14 million recordings of Rudolph?
Of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I almost turned it down. It was a very funny story. The year before, I made a record called Here Comes Santa Claus. And, of course, I did pretty well on that. It sold over 1 million records that first year. And they were looking for a follow-up. And, gosh, I was getting home demos and everything else and over these songs. And Johnny Marks in New York sent me a demo of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I played it 2 or 3 times, and really I didn't think too much about it. And so about July, why, come the time that I had to cut some records. So I was going to cut 4 sides for Christmas songs. I did that, If It Doesn't Snow on Christmas, and I forgot what the other one was. And we had 3 of them in, and they came out and said, look, you've got to get another one in. You can't quit with 3. So I told my arranger, Carl Cotner, I said, Carl, bring him in. Bring in Rudolph, we'll do it. So we made it, and one take, and the engineer came out and he said, Gene, I don't think you'll do it any better. I said, well, if I can't do it any better, wrap it up.
And you've made history that night.
Well, I didn't know that it was going to be a hit until I played Madison Square Garden. And Johnny Marks had a reindeer made with that big bulb in the nose. And when I came out under blue light with the horse, and after I did all of the cowboy songs like Riders in the Sky and a few of those things, why then I said, here's one, I want to see how all you kids like it. So I did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I put one of my boys that worked with me, Frankie Marvin, in this thing, and he came out there and did a dance around and kept flashing that nose, and by golly, those kids went crazy. And I thought right then, by golly, I believe I've got it.
Let me share something with you here. I did a show I will never forget with Merle Haggard and Marty Robbins together. And I want to show it to you, a little bit of it, right after we take this break, okay?